I remember seeing a young man who actually was an opponent of y'all's, and somehow he came over and joined you and got baptized. Does that ring a bell?
He was a guy who was ethnic Karen, but he flipped and he went to the Burmese just because he liked to kill people. Really bad guy. Joined the Burma Army and then got in trouble and also began to be ashamed of himself, and he fled and he came to become a free Burma Ranger. No one knew his background. Every day we have devotions. In devotions, he listens and hears about the mercy of Jesus, and his heart's convicted. And one night he gets in front of everybody and he says, I have to confess this because I can't keep it anymore, and you can kill me. I was with the Burma Army. I killed many of you people. I killed a pregnant woman on purpose and her child. I deserve death. When he said that, all around the room, these people have lost their family members. But God's Spirit was so heavy there, said, we could kill you, but we will not kill you. We're sinners too. And you've seen what you've done, and we forgive you. And we embraced our crying. And he was baptized in our stream. And I thought, wow, God, you can do anything.
Yes. Well, we are so honored and blessed that you have chosen to join us in this inaugural podcast, what I'm going to call a conversation. And we have termed it Light Up Austin. And through God's grace, He has put some amazing people in our world that we want to share with you, some of them are frontline, some of them are in the back, but they are all impact players. And we feel like there is a hunger to know more about what's going on in the church and the kingdom of God that doesn't always happen within the confines of our church building or our particular denomination's expression of our faith in Jesus. And so that's what this whole conversation is about. We have a very special, extraordinary guest with us today, and I'm going to save sharing who that is for just a moment, but I will tell you he's going to blow you away on multiple levels. I've known him for 7 years, and he has enriched many lives before and after that time, but I know he is going to be a blessing for us today. He's actually got a firm base of support and fellowship in Austin, in Greater Austin, in the state, in the nation, and truly the globe. He is a global citizen in the best sense of the term, and you'll come to discover that if you don't know that already. My name is Pete Inman, and I am the host of Light Up Austin. Definitely a layperson, and probably the biggest knucklehead you'll share some time with today, without question. But it has been an honor and a blessing to get to spend considerable time over the last decade and a half with faith leaders in the marketplace, with churches, with pastors. And as we were talking before we started officially, we've had a front row seat to some really beautiful things that I know there's a hunger for in our community. And so we just want to shine a light on that and elevate it. And that is the purpose of this conversation. Through God's grace, I grew up here, not in a Christ-centered home. I just want you to know from whence I came. But Jesus picked me up out of the muck and mire and has been picking me up out of the pit ever since. And I think that's the story of a lot of us. And so we celebrate him every moment we can. And that's what this whole thing is about. Sometimes when that happens, you are blessed to be surrounded by powerful brothers and sisters. And that's been our case, I think, in both of our instances. The Lord's hand has been all over this city for multiple generations. And, you know, a lot of times we're known for being the place that's kind of weird and the great music venue and the high technology capital and the innovation capital. And we are all those things. And our natural beauty and the in-migration that we have and the job creation. And we actually are the catalyst for what many people call the Texas miracle. But one of the most important things that is unknown for many is that we are a center of unity in the Church of Jesus Christ. And that's through efforts of organizations like Christ Together Greater Austin and many, many more. But I think that will come out as we continue to have these conversations and discussions. And we believe that there needs to be a place to go where people can hear about how the Lord is moving in Greater Austin. So that's a little bit about what we're about. We do get faced with this reality all the time that Central Texas is a key place that God is training the eyes of the world. And you can be halfway across the globe and get into a cab and people will understand that you're from Austin, and that means something. And so it's probably worth slowing down and really understanding that, that's important. And we are the 8th largest economy in the world. If we were our own country, we are the capital of Texas. And one of our dear friends, Brother Aaron Demerson, runs Texas Economic Development Corporation. We were talking on the front end of this. He has been steering the Texas Economic Development Corporation. And I don't know if you know this, but 14 out of the last 14 years, Texas has been victorious over the other 49 states in recruiting businesses here. What do you think that's about? It's probably a lot of it is unseen, that type of favor. So we want to be carefully curating this environment. Okay. Dave Eubank, my dear brother, we mentioned earlier that you have a ton of spiritual family right here in Austin, Texas. You come in as regularly as a person who spends most of their life in Thailand can. So we welcome you. We are fully aware, just so you know, of the irony of having an Aggie kind of launch Light Up Austin, but you're so much more than that. And that's what I pray that people will get a sense of in our discussion today. You have been an inspiration to so many people in the kingdom, across the globe. And you have remained humble and true to your Lord in that. You're authentic, you're bold, you're courageous. Can I say you're humble again? Because that's really important when you get to have the positions that you've had, that you've been able to stay humble. And that's remarkable in itself. You are a true servant leader that lights people up in Jesus. And so we thought you would be the best person to start this conversation with. So thanks for coming in. Welcome.
Thanks. I'm Dave Eubank, and born in Texas, grew up as a missionary kid in Thailand.
Yes.
And then came back to Texas A&M, commissioned as an officer, served in Panama in the infantry, and then the Rangers, 2nd Ranger Battalion, then 1st Special Forces Group, and then felt God's call to go a different direction and went to seminary. And then in the middle of that, met my wife and got called to Burma and lived most of my life overseas, but glad to be back.
How has your trek been across Texas over the last 2 or 3 weeks? I've gotten pictures from all over.
Well, we live in, we have a home in Thailand, but most of the time we're working in Burma or Iraq, Syria, Sudan, Ukraine, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, these different areas. But
yes,
we came to visit my wife's parents, and because they're having some challenges in their 90s, and thought we better do that. Made a promise to do that. And then some friends in West Texas saw them, and my kids, all 3 went to A&M or are going. My oldest daughter, Sahale, graduated from there and is now doing a year of nursing in College Station.
In the ER?
In the ER.
Okay.
And my middle daughter, our middle daughter, graduated from A&M, and she's in Texas Tech Vet School right now. And my son, Peter's a sophomore at Texas A&M. In case you wonder, my dad went to A&M. I went to A&M. My granddad was class of 22. We got a long line. And A&M is a phenomenal school. I was in the Corps Cadets. I love it. We pay more for losing than maybe any other university, but we did better the last couple of years. Anyways, Texas beat us twice in a row. My dad said when he was in A&M, he said, we lost every game. He pretty much remembers of every season he was in, but we beat Texas once, and that made the whole season. But when I'm overseas, any Texas school is good. So
I'm just going to put a point on that whole discussion by reminding you of this. Tim Cook just resigned as the leader of Apple.
Right.
He led it for the last 15 years in that 15-year period, Texas A&M never beat UT on the football field, just to put it in perspective.
Thanks for reminding
So
me.
we can put a pin now on that discussion about football, but moving on to more of your amazing wife and children.
So I have a wife by the gift of God,
Great
33 years,
Yes.
Karen, amazing lady, small and tough. You know, toughness is an attitude. It's not biceps and guns and horses and bulls. You got to be tough to do some of those things.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be big, strong to be tough. Tough is a decision. I'm going to endure this
Yes.
no matter what.
Yes.
She's tough.
Yeah.
And strong in the Lord.
In her ministry, will you say a little bit about that?
Well, yeah. Good Life Club, which is
Good
a
Life
program for kids. But let me back up and can I put it in context?
Please.
So I was born in Texas, 1960. And my parents went overseas. My dad was a Texas oil man, and my mom was an actress. She was the lead in Oklahoma. And my dad actually fought in the Korean War. And when he got done that, he said, I'm glad I did. We're fighting for freedom. And sometimes you have to stop a man's heart with a bullet. There's no other way to stop evil. But you'll never change a man's heart with a bullet. So he said, God, if I go overseas again, I want to bring Jesus, because that's the only way someone's heart's changed.
Yes.
And so Dad came back, was in oil business, and he told me that God trusts lots of people with millions of dollars, not my dad. And so he left the oil business. My mom left show business. She was the actress, and they moved to Thailand and took me with them. That's where I grew up.
Yep.
And awesome. I had a horse since I was this big. I had a baby bear. I had monkeys just running amok. I had my own little rifle, a real one, just galloping around. It's probably like Texas in the turn of the century. Phenomenal. So I grew up like that. And then I got a Army RTC scholarship. So I came to Texas A&M. There's really no other school, I thought. That's all I knew about. Got in the Corps, got beat, because that's what happened in those days. It was like, oh, this isn't fun. But I learned a lot in the Corps. You know, one of the biggest things I learned was you need everybody.
Yeah.
And you have to respect everybody. That's it. And life's not fair. Get over it. So from there, I was in the Army. I was in the infantry down in Panama. And then I was tried out for the Rangers, which is one part of the Special Operations community. I was in the 2nd Ranger Battalion. And then I went to selection for Special Forces, and I was in Special Forces. Altogether, only about 10 years. And then I felt God's call to get out. So I got out 1992, went to seminary, Fuller Seminary.
Yep.
But while I was there, I met my wife and Karen, and I saw her in church, and I thought, she just walked down the aisle, beautiful. And I thought, wow. And exhibiting love of life, love of God, and purity and happiness. I thought, who's she? I thought, that's the kind of girl I should marry. So I went right up to her after church and asked her out. I was still in the Army, but processing out. And she said no. And so I thought about it and prayed about it. And I said, what about climbing? Not like a date, like a technical climb in the North Cascades, Mount Shuckson, which is a day or two climb up. You get on a glacier, you rope up.
Tough climbing.
Oh yeah. Then you got a vertical face and 2 ice axes, the whole thing. I mean, serious climbing. I thought, well, she'll make it to base camp. That's good enough. She goes, I'll do that. Ever climbed? Nope. She's not normal. Yeah. And so we go up there, and she's one of the few that summits. I was like, who's this girl? As we're going up the final, because I guided for the Army. I was a technical climber. I've climbed the Himalaya. I've climbed McKinley. I climb all over the world. And so you start feeling like when your person you're leading is probably, you got to check on them, right? How you doing? I look straight down between my legs at her. She's like this going, I'm digging it. I said, who says that on their first climb? And tough. So we summit, wrap down. I'm on the glacier and all crevasses going back down. I said, God, I'll do anything. Let me marry this lady. So anyway, right after that happened, I got a call from my dad, who's a missionary, saying, there's a tribe in Burma that wants help. They looked at a picture of you, the Green Beret, and they said, that's a warrior. Does he follow Jesus? My dad said, yes, send him. I get this call. I asked Karen to marry me. She says, nope. And I said, okay, well, I got to go. And I thought, that's it then. But I've already made so many mistakes in my life. I thought, I'm not going to go after this. I'm going to trust God. And if I don't get married to her, I'll be sad, but I'm not going to push it. So within a week, we're engaged. That's a whole God thing. And we get married and go to Burma. And Burma is the longest running war in the world, 76 years. And we right into it.
Right next to Thailand.
Right next to Thailand is between, Burma is also called Myanmar.
Mm-hmm.
It's right between Thailand and India, and China's on top. And it's the longest running war. So we go in there with the ethnic resistance and with the pro-democracy groups. That's who invited us. And we, number one, share the saving power of Jesus, because I know he did that for me.
Amen.
You know, I always tell, unless God tells me to do it differently, I'll just say, why do I follow Jesus? Because he loves me.
Mm-hmm.
Just for who I am, because he shows me my sin, which is horrible, but better to see it, because he forgives me my sin.
Amen.
He helps me forgive others. That is huge. That's supernatural.
Yes.
And he gives me purpose. He's stronger than the devil and any demon, and they're real. He's stronger than them, and he's going to take me to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So we do that, but we also do blankets, medicine, whatever people need that are in a war zone. So we did that. Our kids came along. When the first kid came, by then we'd been in many.
This is what year?
1993. We went 1993.
Okay.
But I was still in seminary. She'd go for 3 months and come back. And I finished up, and I got an MDiv in Fuller, was ordained. I even have a reverend title. I never use it. I'm the worst ever.
I did not know that.
And we went full time in 1996, moved to Thailand, which is next to Burma, and started full time in 96. But then by 2000, Karen was pregnant. We have a kid coming. And we're like, we're going into Burma. You get shot at, you get bombs, you get malaria long before that. Now we're going to have a kid. What are we going to do? We're going to go back to Burma. They're like, when you have your kid, bring them, you know. What if the kid dies?
Mm-hmm.
Gets shot, get sick?
I think that's a question in a lot of our minds. Like, what is that decision process like when there's kiddos involved?
And I'm like, could we live with God when your kid dies? Can you live with each other? Can you live with yourself? And you think about it and the implications of it. It's like, no. And Karen turns to me and goes, Dave, we should not be led by all the bad things that could happen. What are the opportunities God gives us?
That's good.
That's my wife.
Yeah, that's good.
So we have Sahale, first one born, actually born in Alaska on purpose. We can hunt for free up there. And actually, I was out bear hunting. When the baby's born, I come back to the tent. It's gone. She's gone back to Anchorage to deliver. I missed it. I missed the first child. But my wife is not this like, oh, you had to be there. She's like, it's going to happen without you.
Right.
But I felt bad. I felt like I should be there. It's not that big a deal to her. But I said, next one, I'll be there. I promise. So Suzanne, Karen's pregnant with Suzanne in Thailand. I'm going in and out of Burma. We're going together until she gets so pregnant.
Second daughter.
And we're walking. Sometimes you walk 3 months, 5 months in the jungle. Enemies are all around. You know, no lights at night. You're moving. It's like being in the army without the American power. So, but you got God power.
3 months of walking in the jungle.
Or sometimes 5 months.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the next baby's coming and it's due in like 6 weeks, Suzanne. And Karen's very pregnant. I'm going in the jungle again on a mission. But this time, right before we cross the border, we'd send 2 scouts out to go through the Burma Army. They both get captured. One is shot and killed. One is tortured. And in his torture, he says where we are and where we're coming. So the Burma Army has an ambush set up to kill us. And I'm in charge. And I hear this and I think, well, if we survive the ambush, if I do, which I probably will, because I'm just one guy in this group, I'll be responsible for their deaths in a way. Second, once I get in, I can't come out easy. It might be 2-3 months in there. They'll shut the border. I'll miss the birth. So I get on the satellite phone. I never call my wife almost ever if I'm not near her. In just our married culture, I don't want to be with her. I don't want these conversations on a phone. So that's just how we are. And I certainly don't call her if I'm in danger. Almost never. Because what are you going to do? You know, I just say, pray. Yeah. But this time, I didn't want to go on the mission. I was kind of tired that whole year mentally by now because I've been mission after mission after mission. And second, I really didn't want to break the promise. Third, I was scared. I'm going to get killed. I'm going to get the guys killed. She seems stupid. So I called my wife up and she's like, surprised. Dave, you're calling me from the field. I said, yeah, I'm crossing tomorrow. But this is what just happened. And if I go, I may not make it back for 2 or 3 months. It's just how it works. She goes, Dave, do the people still need you? Yes. Do they still want to go? Yes. Well, don't worry about the baby. You do what God tells you. I'll be fine.
Come on.
I was like, she's not helping me. And she prayed for me. I said, okay, honey, I'll do my best. I made it back for Suzanne's birth. Yeah. That's a whole miracle story because we got hunted. And I'll just tell that story real quick.
Yeah, please.
We go in Burma Army's bombing and attacking. Right before we got there, they massacred 12 villagers, and one kid survived, shot in the leg, shot in the arm. Wilbur II is his name. Shot in the arm, hit on his dead grandmother, all her blood all over him. When they were picking the bodies and shooting again, they thought he was dead. He only survivor. So he gets up and walks the next night. We find him, take the bullet out of his arm. All these people are in hiding. Every time we do a kids program, we're getting shelled. Karen's not with me. She's back about to deliver. And then we get about 90 people trying to flee, and Burma Army's closing in on us. And so we're moving with them, and we have 5 of our Free Burma Rangers. One guy has a rifle. We're not pacifists, but we're not a militia either.
Right.
One guy has a rifle, and that's it. And we have, well, I guess I had a pistol. But we have 5 of us, and we have some local resistance guys. We have 93 villagers. One woman just gave birth. She's super anemic, can barely walk. So we're walking like this shuffle in the jungle. It's already slow. We got an 80-year-old man with malaria. He can barely walk. We're like the slowest escapees ever.
Right.
And the Burma Army is closing in. And we have to try to get back across into Thailand. Not legally. You can't just cross. No one's going to help you. You've got to appear in Thailand somewhere. So we're getting close to the border, and the Burma Army blocks us. 3 battalions like this, and they're chasing us with 3 more. And we're intercepting the radio, listening, and they get us. And we stop and pray. Jesus, what do we do? We can't break this cordon. Okay, we all come up with a logic. Don't go to the border. Head south, 3 to 5 long days, no food. Some of these people probably will die because they're on the margin right now. And there's no food and very little water in that route. But it's the only way to survive and get out another place called Three Pagoda Pass. Makes sense. Feel that little peace. Make the decision. We're going to do that. Tomorrow morning, starting at 2 a.m, we're moving before they can close the door. Right when we say that prayer and feel like, okay, that's what we're going to do, security goes, hey, stop. And this guy comes out of the jungle like this. He's a Karen, local ethnic. He comes out of the jungle and he goes, hey, and he's got a misshapen head, like a birth defect, like a beluga whale looking.
Right.
And he looks like mentally impaired, but he's not. And he comes in and he goes, and everybody knows him. Oh, it's him. He's a spy for our side.
Okay.
And he pretends like he's mentally impaired. And he just kind of walks around like this all the time. He's listening. And he says, I've been tracking you because I'm with the Burma Army. And they know your logic. They've already got 3 units set up to ambush you at Three Pagoda Pass. Come straight this way and follow me. And we're going to go straight at this one unit that the commander's afraid to fight you because I've been inflating your numbers. And they think I'm crazy, but they're not sure.
Right.
So like, really? But we had that peace. Like, God leads you this way, and then he leads you this way. Like, which is it?
Yeah.
But we had that peace. Like, even more peace. So the next morning, we stop and say a prayer. I mean, this little girl has a candle in her hand. I'm going to meet her later. This is a whole nother story. She's in America now. Had a little candle in her hand, and we say this prayer. The candle goes out, no lights, and we're just walking. And we get close to the edge of the jungle and rice fields, just rice fields forever. And there's 3 camps. And they just they just gun you down. And we go not that close, but a kilometer from a camp, which is mortar range and heavy machine gun range. As we get close, I'm like, this is crazy. We're going to get killed. And then we intercept the radio. And the division commander goes, they're breaking through the other way. They're tracking us too. They intercept our radios.
Right.
And he calls the commander, kill them. They're coming through the rice fields. Move out and kill them. And the commander goes, oh, my radio's not working. And then they call him again. And the radio operator goes, the commander's suddenly sick with malaria. He can't talk. And then turns the radio off. And we walk right by that camp. That was God's deliverance.
Amen.
So get back in time for that baby. That's number 2. Number 3 is Peter, born in Thailand. 3 weeks later, like Karen has stitches cut. She's carrying him in, nursing, holding onto my backpack because we can't use the light, 4 nights, and then going through the Burma Army to our camp to train people. So this is the lady I have, and she doesn't like fighting in war or nothing.
Yeah.
And she can't do, I don't know how many pull-ups you do, like 4, but she's climbed all over the world. I don't know how many bench press, what she can bench press, probably that much. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
She relies on God. She doesn't complain. And she started the Good Life Club, which is as we're treating wounded and doing the things that I was doing because I was a soldier, she was like, well, all these kids. And she said, God, how do I help all these kids? And God said to her, you can't. There's thousands, there's millions of them, but you can bring them to me.
Mm-hmm.
So she started the Good Life Club,
Mm-hmm.
which is John 10:10. The thief comes to kill and destroy. Jesus comes to give life and life abundantly.
To the fullest.
And then it's like outdoor Sunday school, singing, telling gospel stories, skits, funnies. And then we have over here under the trees is medics doing medical work, doing dental work, drill, fill, pull, and then sing songs, pray with them, hand out shirts and food, and then go to the next displaced community. So Free Burma Rangers, that's our organization.
Mm-hmm.
It's a humanitarian relief group operating in war zones. First in Burma for now 33 years. And we have kind of two parts. With the frontline part, when there's fighting, some of us who are led to do that, and our medics go with the assault elements and treat the wounded and pull them out. I've lost 79 of my team killed and over 250 wounded. I've been wounded 5 times myself. It's hard to talk. We just lost a guy 3 days ago, just killed, pulling a guy out of the fire.
His name?
Paba. And he, Christian, just was in our advanced training. My kids know him.
Yep.
You know, this started out these are all uncles and aunts to my kids.
Yes.
Now they're brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And Sahale won't sing this song, but when she comes in and sings this song, she has a song about her uncles that are killed one by one.
Yep.
And anyway, so we have a lot of dead. And that's the front line. We have a back line. That's a Good Life Club. That's where people, if they're not in the fighting, people are hiding. That's where my wife and kids and other parts of our team help them. So if there's no fighting, we're all with the displaced people doing Good Life Club and delivering relief supplies. If there's fighting, we split, frontline group, backline group. So all my kids grew up doing that.
Yes.
And now they're back here. But every summer break, every winter break, they're back in Burma with us. But by 2014, we're invited to Sudan, Nuba Mountains. Hey, your NGO doesn't have safety rules. Can you come and help? So we went to South Sudan and up in Sudan. I remember we landed in the middle of the desert on the border, picked up at the SPLA, Sudanese People Liberation Army, north. You know, the gun jeeps, dushkas on top, technicals, and these big Nubans. And I thought that's where the defensive ends from the NFL come from. They pull up, and my daughter, Susanna, who was small, then goes, "Daddy, we're not just a family, we're a team." And boom, right in. And we got bombed every single day we were there. And I remember the Nubian leader goes, "You brought your kids? You must not want anything from us." Our history of the white man is he wants something from us. You must not want anything. Do you want land here? They offered us land. Live here with us. And we have a rule in the Free Burma Rangers. You can't run if people can't run. We're not a Christian organization. I follow Jesus because he saved me and keeps doing it. Amen. But we have Buddhists, Muslims, atheists, agnostics, Yazidis, all kinds. But we always talk about Jesus. And usually if people stay with us, they're going to follow him. They get tired of the praying and quit. But mostly they decide to follow Jesus. But we have these 3 rules. You have to do this for love. You got to read and write in any language because you can't do quality medicine or reporting without that. And then you can't run if people can't run. And I remember when I was visiting South Africa, a pastor from the Congo said, "You know what happens when the rebels come to our village? You know who leaves first? The missionaries. Out of the abundance of caution," whatever that line is, horrible. It's not in the Bible at all. Cowardice. They're gone. Now, it's not cowardice to leave if God tells you to leave. But if you're leaving just because you're scared, what about the other person? So, gone. Then the dope smoke and tree hugging NGOs leave. Then the army leaves. Then it's just us and the rebels. Where are the Livingstons of today? And it's like, so I thought we already have that rule. You can't leave. Now, most of the time it's not dramatic. The enemy shells and mortars the village, boom, 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 boom. You hear it. Mom's got everybody gone. Dad's gone. No one's hanging out. We just run away together. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes mom is delivering right now. And there's the enemy. Then you stay. And at that point, we tell our teams, if you want to fight back, that's the time you can fight back. Now, most of our guys don't have guns because we can't get them. We don't have any pacifists, actually. But don't have guns, can't get it, you still have to stay. If you got a gun, that's the time you can use it, which happens infrequently. Now, in the Middle East, we got lots of guns. It's a whole nother world, the Middle East. But we started in Burma, and then we were invited to Sudan, Nuba Mountains. We started working there. And then when ISIS came up in 2014, we were invited to Kurdistan, northern Iraq, and we were there, and then Iraq proper, and then Syria. And in that there's our documentary movie called Free Burma Rangers.
Let's get to that because that's kind of your deep connection to Austin in many ways.
Well, you all helped us do it.
Yeah. I mean, it was produced and directed in large measure. I remember at Covenant Presbyterian Church, y'all had an office set up, and that's where they did all that film work. And then you had a bunch of supporters here in Austin kind of lean in and stakeholders. And then it launched right before the COVID, right?
Right. Well, it was in theaters right before COVID.
Right before COVID, and then it kind of shut down.
Yeah.
And we still, I think, in that we've had almost 1 million people see it in the United States, and it's, 6 or 7 million globally. And there's talk about maybe a relaunch of that. But if you have not seen that movie, Free Burma Rangers, bless yourself and stream it. It is a powerful movie, and I think it does a great job capturing the entire ministry.
Yeah, it's all real. It's all our footage. Yeah. And some of the guys that shot that footage are dead now. And so even right before it came out, one of our main film guys was killed right next to me in Syria. So first we're in Burma, and then Sudan, and then Iraq and Syria. I remember we first went to Iraq. It's a total miracle how we got there. I'm there, and I asked God, I'm looking at the black flag of ISIS on the Nineveh plains. It's Mosul. Looking and going, what am I doing here? In Burma, we're useful. We're like the first string medical. But here, this is a modern country with paved roads, and you've been in the Middle East. Yeah. It works. They got doctors. We're like fifth string. I don't speak Arabic or Kurdish. I'm not Muslim. Like, what am I going to do? And I just asked God, what am I doing here? And I felt God say, give up your own way. Give up the Free Burma Ranger way. Just come help these people. Okay. And we started with them. And I remember the first Kurdish general I met, like, what are you guys doing? And I tried to tell him, we're a humanitarian group. We are on the real front line. You can get killed. Like, you go to Ukraine, you can get killed on the Polish border by missiles and rockets. Yeah. But the real front line, that's
another touch point. You go into Ukraine, as does our dear friend, Brother Fred Eppright.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he beat you there last time.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
And Ukraine is like maybe the most recent place we've started working. We'll be going there again this August. But we have a small ministry with chaplains and medics. But the front line is where bullets go crack, pop, 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 and someone next to you gets shot and an RPG goes through the wall. That's the front. And there's a humanitarian gap between the real front line, where people are killing each other, and the big non-governmental organizations or government that are feeding people. Yeah. You can't be there. You're going to get blown up. So it becomes a gap because people either aren't willing or not allowed to be with the military where the fighting is. And that's where the Free Burma Rangers operates, right in the humanitarian gap. And we had a great partnership in the Battle of Mosul against ISIS. We were with the Iraqi army, embedded with them, moving. One of my guys was killed. 4 of us were wounded during that time. Moving with the assault lines, taking care of wounded, then passing them back to other team members and my family at the casualty collection points. But then they'd get passed back to Samaritan's Purse supported refugee camps or things like that, further way out of the fighting. And then big groups like that would send us supplies that we could distribute. So it's a very good partnership from us in the front to them in the back. But in Iraq and Syria, we did that. And then after the Battle of Mosul, when ISIS was defeated, at least in Iraq, before that, I'd had this feeling by 2012, we started in 93, I need to share the story of what God's done. And I'm going to do it even though it's going to be lousy. Because we got tons of footage. Because we have 150 FBR teams, Free Burma Ranger teams in Burma. Everyone has a camera. We've trained thousands. That's just what's active now. We've trained probably 10,000 people, men and women, serving people in Burma. So there's lots of cameras, lots of footage. I need to tell the story. It's going to be lousy. And then as I thought about it, I felt this conviction from God. It wasn't like my idea. I'm not a movie maker. And also, it's not good for me to have a movie out because we cross borders.
Yes.
We can lose everything and be kicked out by being too high profile.
Yeah.
But it became very clear to Karen and I, and she hates publicity, that we need to tell this story. And once we came to that decision, after about a year of prayer, and with our team included, knowing it could cost us the ability even to stay there, I suddenly dawned on me, scrutiny. I can't stand the scrutiny. Once you become a little known, people delve into you, they're going to find out your secrets. I can't stand that scrutiny. There's too much sin in my life, too many mistakes. I've made so many of them. I don't want to flash that to the world. And I thought, you know what? No one can stand the scrutiny. Only Jesus.
Come on.
So let them see my sins and my failures. That's not the point of the movie. The point of the movie is Jesus cares about people.
Yes.
And we're not to be led by comfort or fear or pride. We'll be led by the opportunities God gives us.
Say that one more time.
We're not to be led by comfort, fear, or pride. Cowardice is a huge sin. Huge sin. Abundance of caution, a bunch of junk. You know, when you're scared and I'm scared, no one needs to tell us, be careful. We're already careful. We're scared. We need to be asked, is this what God had you do?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
If the answer is yes, then he's with you.
Mm-hmm.
Then be brave. Go.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to go?
Mm-hmm.
You can go. And it's not on how much muscle and bravery you got. It's that he's going with you and sending
That makes me
his
think
power.
of Karen in her ministry when she is working with those kiddos when there's incoming.
Jet fighters coming on her.
Yeah.
She's grabbed this mom. She's laying over the mom. The mom's crying. And Karen goes, I'm doing this as much for me as for her.
Right.
If I don't shield her, I'll lose it, you know? And we're saying the Lord's Prayer because we're so scared and boom. So anyway, so then Kristen, Claire, and Brent, others said, we'll make the movie. And they're professionals. We just gave them all our footage.
Yep.
And then it was so much, they had to pray in their little operation room and slide that little slider and go, God, what scene do we choose?
Right.
So it became Free Burma Rangers. And then there's a second documentary that's more current that Brent's working on right now. And that's going to pick up in Syria, the last stronghold of ISIS, goes to where our kids are now in college, but they're going back and forth to the war zones. The death of Zhao, one of our guys in Syria who did a lot of filming. The reemergence of heavy fighting in Burma. Now it's the biggest fighting since World War II in Burma. Because China and Russia are involved. They don't want a democracy in Burma.
Right.
So we're getting hammered by Chinese jets, Russian jets, drones. It's terrible. So, right. And then when Ukraine, we're involved in a very small way in Ukraine. I'm grateful for Fred and others do a lot more. But we have our little part of trying to help in Ukraine. And Afghanistan, Tajikistan, we helped during that evacuation. So we have little works everywhere. Our main effort's Burma. But right now we're sheltering a Iranian who fled all that stuff and just got baptized in our office by one of my
Y'all have
volunteers.
baptisms regularly, don't you?
Yeah, whoever wants it.
Yeah.
We baptize people in Burma all the time, not all the time, but very frequently, 23 after our last training. But we baptize people in the Tigris River, in Euphrates River in Syria, in a bathtub, in Erbil, wherever.
I want to come back to the sequel documentary movie, but before that, I remember seeing a young man who actually was an opponent of y'all's, and somehow he came over and joined you and got baptized. Does that ring a bell? And I think that was in Burma. He had been prosecuting a war against you.
So Burma is made up, about half the country is Burman, majority, and about half the country is a bunch of ethnic groups from different tribes. He was from those tribes. And most of those tribes are resisting the central government. And the central government now has many of the Burmans who defected from the central government to join the ethnic, saying we're sick of this dictatorship.
Okay.
But he was a guy who was ethnic Karen, but he flipped and he went to the Burmese just because he liked to kill people. And he's a really bad guy. Joined the Burma Army and then got in trouble and also began to be ashamed of himself. And he fled and he came to become a Free Burma Ranger. Volunteer. No one knew his background. Every day we have devotions in training. You don't have to be a Christian, but we have devotions. We start every day. Actually, today starts about 4:30 in the morning with PT. It's like being in the Army, brutal. And then PT until daylight, and then jump in the river, and then breakfast, and then devotions, then training. And the training is humanitarian relief training, medical, dental, map reading, videography, photography, ropes, horse packing, meal packing, counseling, everything. So in devotions, he listens and hears about the mercy of Jesus, and his heart's convicted. And one night, he gets in front of everybody, and he says, I have to confess this because I can't keep it anymore, and you can kill me. I was with the Burma Army. I killed many of you people. I killed a pregnant woman on purpose and her child. I deserve death. When he said that, all around the room, these people have lost their family members. But God's Spirit was so heavy there, said, we could kill you, but we will not kill you. We're sinners too. And you've seen what you've done, and we forgive you. And we embraced our crying. And he was baptized in our stream. And I thought, wow, God, you can do anything.
Yes.
And the first day in seminary, I learned you can live well with sorrow. You can't live well with shame. So Jesus comes to take our shame away.
Yes.
And we may cry about things forever. It's okay. That's about love.
Mm-hmm.
That's about love.
Mm-hmm.
And you can live well with it. And only in heaven will you finally, that will be done. Shame you can't live with. Jesus takes it away. And I love the church. I think the role of the church, many roles, but one role is kick out the sin,
Mm-hmm.
not the sinner.
Mm-hmm.
Call out sin ruthlessly,
Yes.
but not the sinner.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes the Holy Spirit to divine those two differences.
Yeah.
And I have to do that every day in my own life. I wake up in the morning, I say the Lord's Prayer, and I say everything through, including forgive me my sins. I think what I did, and then as I forgive others, who do I need to forgive? God, show me. And say that in the 23rd Psalm, and then read the Bible and start the day. Try to listen to God's word before human words.
Have to.
Anyway, so now we're, my kids are in Texas, but they take all their breaks back with us in Burma. I'm getting ready to go to Washington, D.C. at the end of this week to speak to our government. I need prayer for that.
Absolutely.
What difference will we make? Then I'm going to go watch Pete. Pete's competing in international competition at West Point. And
writing?
It's everything.
Okay.
It's all military, like run, rucksack, shoot, this, that.
We have a hard time deciding who your favorite child is in Austin. We love them all so much.
Oh, thank you.
No, we mean that, man. And we have a surprise, I think, today. We have Sahale coming in to bless us, and maybe we save the discussion about the sequel documentary, which is already underway, while she's here, because I think it's oriented more around the kiddos, isn't it?
Yeah, it is more around them. And, all of them decide to follow Jesus. And they have, like we all have different paths of that. They all grew up seeing God's miracles. I mean, there's no way, right? They grew up since they're this big, getting shot at, mortared. In fact, they hear thunder, go, it sounds like they hear something, it sounds like an 81 millimeter mortar. It sounds like a 120 millimeter mortar.
Right.
Or like the very first time they had mustard, very first time in America they had mustard. We'd already been in Iraq and he got hit with mustard gas from ISIS. So the first time they heard about mustard back in America, Pete goes, isn't that poison?
Come on.
No. It's the same, but you put it on the bread.
Right.
Really, Dad?
Right.
Are you sure?
Right.
And so they grew up like this, and they saw the God's miracles. But, we all have to make our own decisions.
Yeah.
And even though we thought we knew everything our kids did because we were living with them all the time, you don't know what's happening in here for any of us. So each of them had to make their decisions. And I remember not just decisions, but in Syria, in the middle of a mission against ISIS, and ISIS is evil. And now they're starting to die, and even some surrender. Some of the women and kids surrender. Well, as they surrender, some of the women blew themselves up. Mm-hmm. And most of them look at you, starving, shot, and saying, we will kill you.
Yes.
We'll kill you. It's evil. And so my daughters are there taking care of wounded because they're women themselves. They were at this point 16 and 14, I think, or something like that. And my son's driving around a Humvee. He's like 10 or something, but he can handle all that. And we have our ethnic guys there as our medics and some foreigners. We're doing all this. And after 4 weeks, we realized we got to stay here longer. And it's vicious. We have a ring of steel, our armored vehicles that we have, and we're working with the Kurds. And then every day ISIS is fighting you or giving up or both. It's very mayhem. And my girls especially. Mm-hmm. It's tough in the Middle East for any woman.
Yes.
Really tough when you're on ISIS.
Yeah.
And I said to my girls and to our team, looks like we're going to stay here a few more weeks. It's not over yet. And I saw Suzanne's face flinch. That look your kid gives that I'm not going to say anything. I don't like it, but I'm going to do it. Put my head down and do it, but I don't like it. I said, honey, come out here. So we walked out of the tent. The stars were out. It's February. It's freezing cold. And I said, what's wrong? And she said, I'm not good enough to be here, Dad. I said, what do you mean? I don't love these people. I said, honey, they're not lovable.
Hard to love.
They're like devilish, evil. They threaten us. They kill each other. It was like Lord of the Flies. When ISIS broke down at Baghouz, the last stronghold in Syria, it was like dog eat dog. It was evil. They're not lovable at all. Who brought you here? Jesus. Did we make you come? No, Dad. Jesus brought me here.
Come on.
Then we better ask him if we stayed too long. We can't be here without him. So she stops and she prays, and I see the tears still coming down her eyes, and she has this big smile. I can see it in the starlight. She goes, Dad, I'm good. Jesus just helped me. She walks back in the tent. Okay. Every day we had to say this prayer because we were at the end of ourselves. And I was reminded, they can do anything they want against us. We don't serve them. We serve Jesus. And he said it for us to help him so we can take it.
And you met some wonderful people in the Mideast as well.
Oh, yeah. And I guess I'll say this real quickly. God gave me 2 gifts in the Middle East. He gave me so many, but 2 in the Battle of Mosul, to love the Iraqi people. I now prejudicially love them. If I see an Iraqi in the airport and I hear the accent, I'll walk up to him and just love them. It's like meeting a Texan.
Yeah.
It's like, that's my family.
Right.
That's a gift from God. I know who the Iraqis were. And the second is God taught me the difference between justice and revenge. And that happened, in the end, when ISIS attacked so many times, we'd be doing a distribution, they attack us. We'd be treating medical people, and they'd come around. They're going to be suicides. So they'll break in. They don't have to go out. So do things most armies won't do.
Yeah. And
you'd be here doing something like this, and then boom, that door would be open, explosion. Everybody in that hall is dead. Now they're coming here. What are you going to do? You don't have to fight. And I have no fighting policy. My policy is, Jesus, what do I do? And I've done different things. Like I've put my hands up and go, you can kill me. I've run away. I try to listen. But by now I'd fought back many times and fought ISIS this close, eye to eye, looking at each other. I didn't hate them. I just fought them and killed some of them. Yeah. And I remember one guy looking me right in the eye, trying to kill me. He got the first shots off, and it wasn't just hatred. It was like a freight train of evil behind him that I don't think he even knew he had. But anyways, I didn't hate him. I fought him when I needed to. Tried not to do it for fun, just when I needed to. And I already been shot, already been wounded.
Yep.
All these things had happened. And I didn't hate him until they killed this little kid that I knew. And that flipped the switch. And I thought, we're going to give out food. We're going to talk about Jesus. We're going to help people. And I'm going to kill as many of these guys as I can. I'm done. They rape women. They had 10 women that kept not submitting to rape. So they boiled them alive in Mosul, as an example. So many to this. And I just said, hey, man, I talked to Monkey, my team leader. She's from Burma. He filmed the tank scene that, you see.
Yes.
We're rescuing that girl. I said, Monkey, we're going to hunt these guys and kill them. Not because we're good at it. That's my kid, man.
Yeah.
And that's justice. Yeah. And then the next morning before the next battle, I said, Lord, show me the truth of the matter. And I opened my Kindle and closed my eyes and did this. And 3 times in a row, I got the same message. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord, I will repay. Oh, what I call justice is revenge. What's the difference? You don't care about the perpetrator. Justice is, you really hurt me. I'm really mad, but I care about you. So the best thing is, we'll talk it out. Or the best thing is, you need to go to jail because you're so violent.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to visit you every day, man. I'm going to pray for you all the time. That's justice.
Yes.
Revenge is, I don't care. I'm so hurt. I just hope you die or whatever.
Yeah.
And I said, Jesus, I give it revenge. Please forgive me. It was like a 2,000-pound weight I didn't know I had.
Come on.
Most sin, Pete, I know I have it. Or pretty soon, Holy Spirit tells me you just sinned. I didn't know I had this one. And I thought, what if I never said that? I'd become harder and harder and harder.
Yeah.
So the next day I went into battle again with our medical team, but you face ISIS. And I thought, I don't have to kill anybody. I don't have to bring any justice. I just have to be Jesus' ambassador. Yeah. So that's what I got out of the Middle East of many things.
Yes. Well, it's hard to see the reception that you received and not be able to empathize with what you're saying, because you think if you're bringing water and food, you're going to be warmly embraced and thanked, and not, I would not do this for you. I would kill you if I had the opportunity. How you keep going in that space has to be supernatural.
And actually, I wrote a book that it's called Do This for Love. And it's a story about how we started in Burma, but also about Iraq. This is Samoa, the little girl that we rescued with God's help.
Yes.
Sahale was driving the armored ambulance behind me and prayed right before that happened. We got the Americans to drop smoke. We got the Iraqis to get a tank. And that only happened when the Iraqis said, we can't give you a tank. Everything's getting blown up. We just lose our tank. Sorry about the kid. She's hiding in her dead mom for 3 days. And I said, if Allah told you to do it, would you do it? He goes, of course. And there's like no way to cross these roads. We sent a battalion across, they got decimated. But the kid's still there. 150 dead people in the street. She's hiding in her dead mom, 3rd day. So I said,
and you can see that if you will stream Free Burma Rangers, the documentary movie.
Right. And Allah, okay, I said, I grabbed his hand. I said, dear God, dear Allah, because that's what he calls God, please show this commander what to do. In Jesus' name, in Messiah name, in Isa name. These are the Arabic names for Jesus. And he looked at me, he goes, one tank. And we ended up running behind this tank with Americans dropping smoke. And I'm not in the military anymore. It's because the general, Scott Eflon, is a Jesus God. He said, we're going to do it. Dropping smoke to obscure ISIS. They shot at us anyways. One of my guys going to get shot during this rescue. And we rescued this girl and two other people. And I remember when I was behind the tank shooting its main gun and coax, and they're shooting at us. I thought, as soon as I step out to grab that kid, I'm dead. But I thought, what if it was my kid under my wife? And you said, Dave, I'm looking at it right now, but if I try to help your kid, I'm dead. I say, Pete, please try. Every dad would do that. Please try. And I thought, okay, if I get killed, which I think I'm going to get killed, my wife and kids don't understand. This was for love. But God helped me rescue her. And I didn't do it alone. Sahale and others were praying. My whole family was back behind, actually. Sue, Peter, Karen, and then our team, my chaplain, Paul, everybody was praying. The Americans are dropping smoke. The Iraqis, I got a tank. And our whole team was together. I had a couple volunteers with me, Sky, Ephraim, Monkey, Mahmoud, this hodgepodge of people. And we were able to rescue this girl together and get her out, and she's alive to this day. So after that rescue, we had another one the next day. Like, it's not over. It just keeps going and going. Right. But 8 months later, so we passed that girl off to General Mustafa, Iraqi general. He said, if there's anybody left, I'll find him. He finds the grandmother, the only living person. So she ends up back in Baghdad. 8 months later, ISIS is defeated in Iraq. We're back, all of us together as a family. And Demoa means tear. It's the name of this little girl. Comes up from Baghdad with the grandmother. And the grandmother says, I want to see this, whoever rescued my granddaughter. And she drops on her face and starts kissing my boots. I'm like, no way. It's so embarrassing. Yeah. 70-year-old grandmother. I'm starting to pick her up. She goes, don't touch me. I promised to God I would kiss the feet of the man who saved my granddaughter. Do not touch me and make me break my promise to God. Okay. Very embarrassing and very okay. She gets up and goes, you should know. I had a vision on June the 2nd, which is the day of the rescue, that my daughter was dead. Whole family's dead, which is true. And my granddaughter's hiding on my dead daughter's body. And ISIS is picking off everybody else, which is what happened on that street. And it was hopeless. And then suddenly a man shining in white with golden hair and flashing eyes stepped over the land of the living and the dead and picked up my granddaughter. And I said, that was Jesus, and he sent us. So, dear listener or viewer, when you follow the Lord, you don't know what's going on with you. We know we're frail, feeble, sinful, weak, limited. But God, when we obey God, he's doing things too. So
what's invisible is eternal.
Yeah.
We know that.
And, so we've done this as a family all together the whole time. And our oldest daughter, Sahale, writes many songs. And some of them are about her uncles, because that's what they were, that died.
Who was?
That died in service. Mm-hmm. And others are about her peers, because she started out as a baby being carried into Burma, and all the Rangers were her uncles and aunts. Mm-hmm. Now they're their brothers and sisters. Mm-hmm. Now she's 25. And so she has a song that she wrote after a guy named Rito was killed. And this was in Crony State, 2022. Burma Army's attacking on the ground, machine gunning pop at us, dropping mortars, and we're trying to evacuate people, and we're the last people out. That's our job. Don't make sure you're the last. And we're the last people out. And Rito wasn't even in my unit that minute. He was part of Free Burma Rangers. He's supposed to be somewhere else, but he came to the front. He said, I got to be at the front to help. And we're evacuating, and we're moving back. We're taking fire, mortars, and machine gun. I could see Burma Army moving against us, and all of a sudden jets show up. There's two of them. We don't know that. There's two jets. And they do this yo-yo thing. One dives, bombs you. If you get up and run, the next one sees where you went, it comes down. We didn't know that. And these jets are coming, dropping bombs. One bomb landed 12 yards. I paced it out later. 12 yards from us, but I was in a little ditch. And all the shrapnel and the shock went over me. Well, I had multiple bombs, rockets, cannon. and we're just running for our lives down the street. I'm me and another guy, the last guys. And as we run from ditch to ditch, house to house, one bomb comes in and catches Rito as he's jumping to another, like a ditch. And he's hit here, here, here. All these are penetrating wounds and bleeding out inside and outside. And he looks like he's almost instantly dead. And we grab him and we start carrying him, and the jet goes and turns back, and it comes again. And I can't quite see the pilot because of the lights on the cockpit. He's looking straight at us. So I can see that opaque looking thing. And he's shooting 20 millimeter cannon, just blowing everything up. And I remember I hit the ground. I have Rito's body, and he's got blood is just gushing out next to me. I can hear that last death rattle. And I just pray, I'm dead because he's on me. And I just pray, and I have my body this way. The last second, I flipped my body another way, and all the cannon rounds went by, but I got a head injury from it hitting other things. And one of our medics, Joseph, got wounded. Anyways, we got out and got his body out. It took the whole day. Then we had another retreat we had to go to. We did all that, but he was dead. So she'll sing about that song. But I want to close this with this. So I've been in wars for 30-something years. And I've never kind of run out of anything. Yeah. I've cried a lot because I've lost my friends, but that's just sorrow. I've never broke. I've never got too tired of it. I never whatever. It's a whole new day, like Black Hawk Down. Hey man, why are you loading your magazines? It's a whole new day, man. That's how I always have been. But that day was the end of about 3 weeks of everyday combat, going out with about 20 guys, knowing 4 will be dead. And I got back covered in blood, lots of dead people besides Rito. Fighting still going on. I'm going to go back the next morning. And I thought, I'm done. I've never been done. I'm so sad and so scared. I got nothing left. No one can see that. I'm the leader. But I know me. I never had this happen to me. So I said, Jesus, if you want me to go again tomorrow, I need your help. I'm done. And I went to sleep and I woke up ready to go. That's the power of God. Amen. Because we all run out. Sooner or later, you get pushed hard enough, you run out of yourself. But Jesus never runs out. And so we obey him at all cost. Yeah.
Well, get over here, mighty sister. Okay, so you're the oldest of the three.
Am. Yes.
Older than Sue and Peter.
I am.
You've seen a lot.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we monitor what's going on through social media and through reports and through the videos. Just really honored to have you today. So set this song up a little bit.
Absolutely. So my name is Sahale Eubank. I am the eldest child of the Eubank family. I went to Texas A&M University, got my nursing degree, and I'm currently working as an ER nurse in Texas.
Yes.
And I'm also currently working on releasing an album of a lot of the songs that I've written over my time in Burma, overseas, either about friends, family, growing up, different stages of life, and just really appreciating this time here in Texas to be able to engage with my Austin family that I get to be with along the Colorado River.
Are you refueling at the waters right now?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, they're pretty high on you.
Hands down, Austin's probably the prettiest place in Texas.
Yeah,
and
amen.
So I love it. And just the ability to serve the Texas community in a way that I haven't before. You know, you go to school and you learn and you receive. And now as a nurse, I'm able to give back.
Yes.
So,
thank you for your service.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate it. So this song I wrote for my friend Rito. He was a Ranger student with us. We actually went through training together because at the time I was of the age where we were similar age and kind of going through the training together. And so
How old is that age?
He was a few years, he was like 18, 19. I was 16, 17. And we were all friends together. We did different trips.
Was he a Christian at that point?
He was a Christian at the time. Yes. And so we would exercise together. We did the training together. And one of my favorite memories is when we would go out into the villages and do kids programs. And there was one trip where we went out and we all played in the river, built bamboo rafts, and how even though he's from Burma, he's of a different ethnic group than the town that we do the training in. And his love for the kids, even though he couldn't speak their language, was just so Christ-like, as well as his ability to encourage me. He couldn't speak excellent English, but he could speak enough, and he would always say, deeds, not words, speak to me. And so that was one of his favorite quotes, and that's the name of the song, Deeds, Not Words. So thank you for letting me share it with
we're
y'all.
Honored.
It was early Wednesday morning when I got the news. I fell on my face crying when I heard it was you. Flashbacks of running over rough mountain terrain, when I fell and sprained my ankle and you laughed trying to pronounce my name. They told me it had been sudden, no hurt and no pain, but I cried inside knowing things would never be the same. I took your first year photographs, made sure you didn't drown, and you gave me all of your friendship and a smile that stuck around. Can someone run through fire without getting burned? How long can you flee the bullets before it's your turn? But who could kill the flame of joy, explosion of life he'd bring? He told me deeds, not words, shall speak to me. We hold on to life tightly, we fear the pain of death, and when it comes we scream inside, oh Lord, we're not ready yet. I have no words to explain the mystery, only the acts of love and kindness that inspired me. Oh, deeds, not words, shall speak to me. Someone run through fire without getting burned? How long can you flee the bullets before it's your turn? But who of us would run and hide when we could be the heroes God has called us to be? Oh, deeds, not words, shall speak to me. Oh, deeds and not words shall speak to me, to serve one another faithfully, to set the captive free, not losing hope when surrounded by enemies. Oh, it's deeds, not words, that speak to me. With 6 kids who couldn't swim, not tied by race or family, but they knew you'd take care of them. I wish I had more photographs to replay those memories, but I'm thankful for the time that God gave me. Oh, deeds, not words, shall speak to me, carrying a child through the water, or being the first to do the hard things, not losing hope when you've lost everything. Oh, it's the deeds of love that remain after you leave. Oh, it's deeds, not words, that speak to me.
Well, that is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wrap of our first conversation for Light Up Austin. And you guys have blessed us. I knew that you would. We all did. But thanks for making the space to come and visit with us in Austin. God bless you. Thank you, Greater Austin, Central Texas. We love you. Amen.
Love you too. Love you, honey.